Fusion strong today, and we're gonna start with just a little lean and tap, waking up our body, and just shifting the weight, starting to feel into the core. Lean and tap. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot stays, left step in and out. And you can make it small or take it out. Using your whole body to shift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step switch. So you can make it small, take it bigger, leaning onto your left foot. Every time we use our torso to move with the leg, we're using the core to catch us. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean and tap again. We're transitioning a little up by kicking your own bum. A little Jane Fonda style, yeah. Kick your bum. You can always pretend I'm kicking it for you if that makes you feel better. I really want our system to wake up and warm up before we get into some of the joint mobility work. 4, 3, 2, and last round here. And now it's a heel stomp, but take it across. Allowing everything around the hips to move, and we're heeling it across. Good news, we're not staying here too long. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in and heel march. Now, the heel march means the knees bend, the hands do whatever they need to for support and balance. Whoa, clearly not enough today. Now, add a little hip push to the side. Using your obliques to bring them back through center. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and just heel straight up and down, calf raises. You can swing your arms, but if you swing them too hard, you end up falling forward or backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, and right foot down. So now we're gonna add some combos. Take the left toes to the side, extend through the leg, and it's kick your bum, bring it forward. Kick your bum, bring it forward and across. Bring it forward, kick your bum. Kick and bring it forward. Kick your bum and across. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean and switch. Right toes come out, kick your bum, bring it diagonally across. And you could just step it in if you want, if this is better. But let's try and go for this little diagonal, engaging obliques. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now it's hips. I know we went really strong to begin with, but now it's winding through the joints. Moving the hips in a weird, funky circle. Make sure you reverse direction. Okay, reversing direction really confuses my body. 1 second. Okay, here we go. I think I found my groove. Anybody else try to switch directions and their whole body is like, eh? So now side to side. Now notice I'm lifting my hip up to drop it down. That hip lift is using some obliques. Now, speed it up, but make it a little smaller. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, feet together and loop the knees. Add a little dip. And reverse. Remember what I said? One side feels good, the other side gets a little confused. It's not so bad in my knees, I think, but it's when my hips have to reverse direction that my body is like, eh? 4, 3, 2, and give it some wiggles. Just a little lean, left to right. I love these, even though they feel ridiculous. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, something for the feet and the ankles. We don't often do this, but I think we should do more of it. So, right foot is going to come back. And now, instead of going on the ball of the foot, we're going to go on the top of the foot for a little single leg squat. Not quite a lunge, because we're not putting a lot of weight on the top of that foot. You can find a rhythm or take it slow and controlled, really focusing how much weight or how little weight you're putting on the top of that foot. You can speed it up but make it smaller, or slow it down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now it's going to be the left heel. Take it out to the side and kind of like this external rotation. Then bring it in. We're not adding the dip. Just bring it in and heel. Toes in and heel. And see if you can kick your bum each time. I'm adding snapping fingers. That's not actually part of the exercise. Toes in, heels out. Adding that little bum kick. 4, 3, 2, and bring it in, and we switch. Right leg out to the side. Really get into that heel. Disturb your basement neighbors if you've got them. And then toes in. And add that little kick to bum to rotate and heel. Pull the heel in and out. Keep moving through the heel and the ball of the foot and the toes. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Fix your pants as required. Mind you, you never have to wait for me to tell you to fix your pants. If you need to fix your pants, fix your pants. Moving our way up, hips and core. Rib slide. And make it small to start. Lock in your hands to help support this movement. What we're not doing is a shoulder lift, it's a slide to side. And we're purposely making it a smaller one so that we're keeping the engagement the entire time. And let's go for 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. Take the elbows out and then bring the palms up. It's like this big hands up in the air pose. Right elbow, right hip, but bring your left elbow up and over and center, switch. Using the exhales. Now what we're not doing is moving the hips. The hips stay put. If you notice your hips tilting, make the movement a little smaller to keep that level of control. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to your head. We're just transitioning up. I love this next move simply because it does so much for us. Soften the knees first. Make sure the hips are forward. And we're going to turn to the left, reach the right arm forward and the left arm back. Bring it in, and we switch. Reach and switch. So side view, I am not tilting my hips, I'm staying forward. Using exhales to guide the movement and the intensity, of course. And we're nearly ready to start adding some equipment into this little repertoire today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands out, thumbs up, thumbs forward. Scoot the thumbs up over your shoulders, up and around and forward. Trying to keep those elbows at shoulder height. Yeah. My shoulders are warm. Anybody else? Maybe just a little. Now reverse direction. Go the other way. What we're not doing is this weird loopy thing with the elbows. We're keeping elbows at shoulder height. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and relax the shoulders. Whew. Okay, now before we get into the weights, let's just shake everything out. Shake legs, wobble it out. If there's any tension, this is a great chance just to kind of go blah, blah, blah. And if you want to make that noise, please do it. 4, 3, 2, and release. Now our first piece of equipment is going to be our mini ball. And first, I want us to have some fun with it. Now the idea here is to keep the arms long, not too much bending. So bring the ball in front, pass it over to the left hand, bring it around, pass the ball. Now my elbows will bend a little bit, but I'm not hiking it up. Forward and back. And what I'm not doing is this weird movement with my body right now. I am just staying nice and tall. And reverse direction. Take the ball around and the other way. Great therapeutic style movements for shoulders, creating a lot of awareness across the front of your chest. And 4, 3, 2, oh, and sometimes we drop a ball, sometimes we lose the ball. Bring it forward. Now bring the palms together. We're just going to do a few of these. The fingertips are coming close, extending out to the side, and we just squeeze the ball in. Now we're not squeezing it down on our belly, we're reaching it forward, but we're not doing it with our shoulders. Shoulder blades down and back. Using exhales on exertion can help us kind of tap into the power of our core sometimes, but realistically, I just want you to keep breathing, okay? Whether it's inhale or exhale, just keep breathing, okay? And 5, 4, 3, 2, bring it up, shoulder height. And I realize you can't see my face, but that's not really a big deal. But we're keeping shoulders down, not hiking up, and we're not going forward. It's just the ball, pulsing in, pulsing in. Now, I want you to go as fast as you can. Pulse it in, fast as you can, fast as you go, 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 go. I mean, really speed it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's bring it to the right side. Now drop your shoulder down, extend the fingertips, and I want you to squeeze it into your thigh. Give it a few pulses to get a feel for what has to wake up on the, the armpit side to keep the tension. Now I want you to squeeze the ball in and hold the squeeze, but side bend. Bring it up. Keep the squeeze in and just side bend. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze up. Inhale and exhale. I have a hair up my nose. Woo. Inhale and exhale up. Don't stop pushing that ball towards the thigh. Your thigh, that is. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to show the other side because I want to make sure you're not leaning forward and not leaning back. First, give it a few pulses. So the pulses, so that you can feel what the body's supposed to do on the inside here. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Now push that ball in as hard as you can. And we side bend and bring it back. Inhale and exhale. Notice I'm not leaning, I'm not tilting, and I'm not letting my hips move. It's just rolling down and bring it back up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up and exhale down, or switch it. Figure out what breath works for you. We're almost done for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to shift the ball. This is where it gets interesting for balance. We're going to place it behind the right knee, and bring our thigh up and squeeze the ball. Now, many of us bring that thigh in front, but can we line up thigh to thigh? And we stay here, staying nice and tall, and we squeeze to the side and down, side and down. This mimics the movement that we'll do in a Pilates move called, you know, the fire hydrant. And it's just the thigh. So we're not tilting the hips, we're not moving the ribs. But we're just trying to keep thighs parallel. Don't let one knee pop in front of the other. If you don't have a ball, you can do this without a ball. Or if you need to level down just a little bit to make it more accessible, don't use a ball. You can even do this with just a side step. I'll show you can activate this. This variation really targets your hamstrings as well, which is great. 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't drop that foot. Ha-ha, trick. Bring it across and back. Knee it in and out. I use my hand to guide, but you could do this without the hand. That standing leg is getting tired. Well, at least mine is. Woo! 4, 3, 2, and 1. And pause. My bum shake. Now we switch sides. So this is the last thing we're gonna do with the ball, and then we're going into our heavy kettlebell. So same thing, line up thigh to thigh, squeeze that ball with the hamstring and the calf. And we squeeze to the side. Don't worry about the rhythm. Find one that works for you. Don't always worry about the music, but sometimes the music can help give us a little extra oomph, you know what I mean? Especially if we like the song. Although if I like the song a lot, I start singing, which you don't want to hear for sure. Exhaling it out to the side. Stay with me just a little longer. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Remember, we bring it across and back. This diagonal pull in and extend. Woo! I'm at risk of losing my ball. Whoopsie. Stay with me a little longer. 5, 4, whoop, 3, 2, and 1. Wow, I almost lost it there. Keep the ball close by. We'll probably use it again when we get to the floor, but now we switch to our heavy weight. Our kettlebell, laundry jug, potato sack. I know one student once taped a bunch of duct tape to a bag of sugar. So whatever work you've got ahead of you, we're gonna start with our feet hip distance apart. Now make sure you're not slouching forward. Pull shoulder blades down and back. And right now, all we're doing is pulling up to our mid-chest, not our chin, just mid-chest and down. And don't let the elbows and shoulders flare up. Keep them out to the side. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top here. Just hold. Now add a little squat, pulse. Don't let the arms move, just a little pulse. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Don't arch into your lower back. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and release it down. Bring the feet a little closer. Just simple deadlifts with our legs close together. Now a deadlift, if you need to bend the knees because you've got tight hamstrings, that's okay. Don't go down too low to start. Kind of figure out where your flat back is and come down. Tight hamstrings, come back up. Maybe the next one you can go a little lower. Focusing on keeping strong back. Now, a lot of people talk about getting a bit of an achy lower back. Learn to brace the movement through your core. It's not just my back doing the lifting. I am actually using my core, and I'm gonna make a weird noise like to pull back up. That feeling that you get when you go and again, it's a weird noise, but feel into that through the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it over to the right. I love side bends with the kettlebell, and especially because we can add the variations. Option 1, feet flat. Inhale and exhale it up. Very simple. Don't worry about how low you go, but real quick check. Don't do the hips. Don't lean forward, and definitely don't lean back. Just a side bend. Now, where I love the layers is bending that right knee, lifting up the heel. The closer the foot is, the easier. The further out the foot is, the harder. So if you're used to a certain distance, try a little further apart this time, just to see how it feels. Leaning into the leg, but not the hip. Inhale and exhale. Push through the ball of the foot. Don't let the shoulder hike up. Woo, almost fell over. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the heels, switch hands. So let's start off with option number 1. Simple side bend. Now the other thing I see people doing is they just drop their head. My head doesn't really move. It's my ribs that do all the movement. Don't just lean and drop your head to make it feel like it's a bigger movement. Keep your head upright. See how that feels. Now, add the variation if you want. Keep it close or take it further out just to see. Inhale and exhale it up. These exhales really pulling in through the entire core system. Don't let the shoulders hike up. And even though you're holding this heavy kettlebell or your heavy weight, you're not doing any lifting with the arm. It's the obliques and a little bit of help from that bent leg. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that heel. Bring it up in front. This time I want you to grab the kettlebell, as they say, by the horns. Don't let it rest on your chest. Don't take it all the way up, but have it hovering in front so you can feel the weight pulling down. I'm going to just go for side view here. It's going to be a small step, and lean back with your body. So it's not just a step with the leg, it's the whole body leaning back, and we switch. Left leg, right leg. Don't worry about what a lunge is supposed to look like. Just get used to this idea of holding the weight in front of your body and moving your whole torso, keeping shoulders over your hips. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to add a layer. So this time it's going to be more about a lunge. Still holding the weight in front. Option 1, keeping your weight over the front leg. And step and switch. This is your option 1. And of course you can do this without a kettlebell. That would be your option 1 as well. Or option 2, same thing as we did with our step, but we move the whole body back. So it's a little lean and back. If I'm not careful, my kettlebell kind of smacks my chest a little, which makes me focus on holding it in front of my body more. And you don't have to go low, but try and bend into that back leg. Good news. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the kettlebell into both hands in front. Holding that up that long is kind of intense, right? So now kettlebell swings. We've done this before, but I'm just going to do a quick review. This is not about fully squatting down. This is more about tilting back, and you don't have to go big. So push your hips back. If you watch my knees, they don't really move much. I shift back and squeeze up. Now the goal is to get the wrist to shoulder height, but if I go higher, that's not really adding much right now for what we're trying to accomplish today. Keeping a flat back. And again, this is another one where a lot of people say they feel a twinge in their lower back. Brace the catch with the core, not the back. Stay with me a little longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause. Bring it down to the ground. All the way down. Drop the hips down into a low squat. Now we're not lifting the kettlebell. We're going to lift up halfway. We're going to step the right foot to the right and a little lean. Kind of using like the kettlebell as a balance piece. Step it in, squat it down. Step and switch, left. Bring it in, squat it down. One more each side. Lift up halfway, step to the right, drop it, but still holding on to that kettlebell. Bring it in and drop. Good news, just one more side. Left, halfway up, step to the left. And we bring it in. Let's come all the way up. Whew. So actually, before we go all the way up, I'm going to show you without the kettlebell, plus I've got sweaty hands. We're going to do single kettlebell swings, single arm, but we're not doing it down the front. We're doing it to the side. Now, what I want you to be aware of, when we move to the side, our knees get a little wonky. So the movement, one hand will have the kettlebell, and you're going to swing. It's like a little swinging dip. Now, with the added weight, you'll notice your knees are going to tilt a bit. That's okay, just don't go too far into the torque of the knee. So, and make sure you don't hit your kneecaps. That's a big thing. So, and you can start small, just a little swing and switch. Notice I'm moving my hips more than my knees. And I'll show you side view. So my opposite knee of the hand that's got the kettlebell is doing the extra tilt. But it doesn't have to. I can focus on staying forward. But I find this one targets and activates more of my obliques and my core. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Now, if you have a stable weight, like a kettlebell with a flat bottom, you can do this with me. If you don't, use a yoga block or a little stool. If you're using a laundry jug, do not put your weight on this. So we're going to use our kettlebell as a balance. First, flat back. Don't round, don't stick your bum back. Flat back. Right leg is going to come back, and we're going to squeeze up into our glutes. Now, where you can make this extra, come on to the ball of the foot of the left leg. So you're lifting up your heel. Keeping your hips parallel to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, before we switch sides, bring both heels off the ground. Come into a little squat with the knees in front. See if you can take your hands off the kettlebell and just a little reach forward here. Whoop. And now we switch. Come back up. Option 1. Left leg back. Now don't open the hip. Keep the hips parallel and flat back. If you need to change the grip, that's fine. Squeezing up and back. Now, option to lift the right heel up. Using exhales, try to keep both hips pointed towards the ground. Readjust your grip. My hands are super sweaty right now, so I'm sliding all over the place on this kettlebell. Use the exhale, stay with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in, drop it down. Or reach the hands forward so you can stay off your heels, knees together, nice and tall. Wipe sweat from your face, your brow, any other body parts that, might be sweaty. Now we rise up. So, smaller hand weights. And even though this song makes me want to walk and talk, we're focusing on the arms. We're going to do a couple of movements. So first off, what we call hammer bicep curls. That means your knuckles are forward, not palms up. So this is the hammer style. And we're only coming halfway. You can speed it up using a lot of tension or slow it down. Find the rhythm that works for you. For reference, I've got 3 kilogram weights in each hand, which is, I guess, close to 7 pounds. Now, stay halfway. Halfway. Wrists are at elbow height, elbows are tucked in, and we squeeze out to the side. Now, when you squeeze open and out to the side, it's okay to let your chest pull forward, but not your back arching. Stay with me just a little longer because I know you got this. I know you do. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it down. Pause. Give yourself a shimmy shake. This is our pause, a shimmy shake. Get silly, get dorky. If you haven't figured out yet, I'm all about the silly and the dorky. Now, we're gonna add extra. It starts with a hammer bicep, but we're gonna open with the palms out to the side and back down. So we're combining the two together. Now we're gonna add even more. If you've got the hang of this, remember all these movements you can do without weights if you need to, or just use cans of soup. So here's where we get extra. We're actually gonna press back, bring it in and around. Press back, bring it in, around. Kick back, palms up. Kick back, palms up. So we're adding triceps, biceps, and a bunch of other stuff where my arms are saying how many more because I'm about to fall off. Anybody else arms ready to fall off? Maybe just a little. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good news, we're coming to the floor. Now we will be using our kettlebell again, but not right this second. I'm just shifting it out of the way so I don't hit my head. Make sure when you come to the floor that you move some of the equipment out of the way because bonking your head or your toes, no fun. Trust me, I speak from experience. So the goal now here is, and I'm purposely giving you a little bit of a breather because we're adjusting to the floor. If you need to adjust your camera so you can get a better angle, please keep that in mind. So we're gonna start off on our forearms and on our knees. So this is like a weird table position where I'm tilted, and I want you to purposefully drop your belly and stick your butt up in the air. Then exhale, pull the belly button up, pull the tailbone forward, and as you do this, push your forearms and your fists into the ground. And we round all the way through our shoulders, bring our gaze towards our knees, and then inhale, relaxing just enough that we feel long through the spine, no arching, no tilting. Take the right toes back, extend the right leg, but then drop the knee. Extend left leg back, and drop the knee. So now we're in a forearm plank. We're gonna pause and then drop the belly down. I want you to notice how it feels in the spine and where you put the weight in the forearms. A lot of people forget about the strength in our arms to push the floor away. So, fists, forearms. Exhale, pull the belly button up, nice and slow. And we're pushing the floor away. We can drop the shoulder blades kind of inwards so that our chest is buckling down, or we round and push the floor away. But right now, we are officially in our plank challenge. We stay here. Now, the goal for the next few, whatever seconds, I'm not going to tell you, is to stay in a plank position of some kind as long as possible. If you can come up onto your toes, maybe you shift forward and back. Now, keep in mind, we're not sticking our bum up and we're not arching into our lower back. We can forward and back. We can wiggle left to right. Find where the plank is challenging you the most. Stay there as long as you can, and then maybe drop again to the knees, or maybe come onto your hands. But if you go to the hands, be mindful not to drop the belly or stick your bum back. Stay in this plank. You're going to tuck the toes if you want, come into a full plank. Maybe even walk your plank. And if this is really still too much, try side plank. You can even drop the bottom knee down. You can even do side planks on the floor, on your forearms. Whatever option you choose, stay there as long as you can. Keep breathing. Side plank it if you need to. Try not to drop those knees down. The good news is I know we're almost done. Stay with me a little longer. Forearms, forearms, and release. Whew, we made it. Okay, this is where we're going to use the kettlebell again, but I want you to make sure that you really have a little bit of space over your head, because the arms are going to come up overhead and I don't want you to drop the kettlebell on your head. Let's avoid kettlebell on heads, okay? We're holding it where my palm is gripping the bell part, not the horns. My thumbs are inside, so I've got a really good grip. Right now, shoulders are underneath the wrists. Knees are bent, flat back. Just start to explore with straight arms, shoulder blades down, not flaring the ribs. Can you take that weight up overhead, even just a little? This is creating tension all down underneath the bottom parts of my arms, all the way to my armpits, but it's also making my ribs want to flare up, so I have to pull in through my ribs to stay stable. If this is feeling good, you can either take it lower or find that place where it feels, solid but challenging, and bring your legs up into table. You can take right leg long, exhale it up, and left. Bring it up, and right, left, or maybe both. Figure out something kind of movement if you want, or put those feet down. Maybe you need to bring the weight up. Maybe you want to take the weight lower and just keep the legs stable. Figure out some variations that work for you. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Woo. Now, this is where it shifts. We're going to hold the weight close to our body. We're only doing a couple of these, by the way. And it's about rocking like a ball. So taking a classical Pilates move and again, making it a whole lot of extra. Bring those knees up. You're going to hold the weight close enough, but not let it rest on your body. Hug those elbows in, using your legs to start the swing, where you rock up And see if you can come without touching the floor with your feet on the way up. Make sure you lift up nice and tall, roll back. Woo! Come up, roll back, and come up. Two more. And last one. Stay all the way up. Place that kettlebell off to the side. Whew. Anybody else feel a little like burpy from that? That one makes me burpy. Other ab things make me barfy. That one made me a little burpy. So, let me burp. I'm kidding. I want you to wiggle your legs. And I've been asked so many times, Melanie, why are we wiggling our legs? It seems kind of silly. Well, what we're actually doing is loosening kind of the thigh bone in the hip joint area. We're giving it some release. You know when we sometimes have to wiggle off like a corkscrew, or like a wine cork, we have to give it a little wiggle. We don't just yank. Wiggle's good. Now I want us to wiggle our upper body side to side. Now lean forward a little, sway left to right. Get a little lower if you can. And come back up. Bring the feet together, knees wide. I always love cobbler's pose, butterfly pose, sometimes it's called. And mainly because I sit so much during the day where my thighs are kind of drawn inwards, and this just opens them right up. Sometimes it feels really tight and I almost have to hold on to them before I can let them relax. But then other times I feel like I can be 3 years old and like shift my weight on my bum, give myself a little bum massage. You know, some of you might know I'm all about the bum massages. And then from here, grab your toes, your big toes. I use my index and middle finger to grab a hold of my toes, and I'm gonna bring my heels down. And I'm gonna pull my chest through, pulling myself nice and tall. So my knees are all the way up onto the side, closer to my ribs. And then I get silly. I walk, I go left to right, forward, back, and around. Just explore movement, really get silly into this. And now can we maybe lift up the one leg? Yeah, what about the other one? You'd be surprised, sometimes people have a really hard time with this one, and that's okay, we're all beautifully unique. Now the fun part begins, but fun part, what about both feet? Woo! Without falling backwards. And you can keep your feet together. If holding your big toes feels weird, maybe even grabbing your whole foot, that's fine too. But it might be more challenging as we go to the next one. Can you take your left foot up to the side? Even if you can't straighten it like the splits, how far out can you get without slouching in? Can you lift your chest up tall? Lift up that chest. And then bring it in, whoop, and we switch. Take it slow. This is my really tight leg. Whoa, mama. I'm slouching to try and cheat, but I need to pull my chest up and through. And bring it in, feet together, forward fold wherever your body lets you go. Nod your head yes, shake it a little no. And come up. Now, we're going to take the right leg forward. First, the left heel is in the groin or near the groin, foot against your inner thigh. Take both of your hands and just from the top of the thigh, slide down with your chest and heart leading towards the toes. Just go wherever your body lets you. Don't worry about if you actually touch the toes. The goal is to get your heart in the direction of your big toe. It's not about dropping the head. It's not about tilting and falling over. It's chest forward. Lead with a courageous heart. And we want to stay here for a couple of breaths, mainly because in order for our muscles, our tendons, our whole body to actually receive the benefit of a stretch, we should really be in it for at least 60 seconds. And come up and we switch. Walk your hands forward, heart comes down. Again, it's your chest leading your courageous heart. And let's come all the way up, bring both knees in, give yourself a hug, a well-deserved hug, and then a great big, make a weird noise, just exhale, and if hugging in doesn't feel good, sit up nice and tall and just go, and do it one more time. And make it good, like really make it count. Don't give me this shy little, big, and that concludes Fusion Strong for tonight.